Progress in small steps. That's the headline coming out of the second round of talks between the U.S. and Cuba in Washington. CCTV's Jessica Stone has been following the details, and she joins us now live from our newsroom with more. Jessica.
And Mike, even before these talks began, really, senior administration officials were describing this round as, quote, disappointingly workman-like. But if progress means more scheduled dialogues about deeper coordination on the path to diplomatic relations for both the Cubans and the Americans, then progress we can report.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Today was productive.
Round two of talks led by these two negotiators who are trying to restore a relationship uprooted for more than a half-century. The focus, reopening embassies in Havana and Washington, D.C. But two major sticking points have so far been left unresolved. For 33 years, Cuba has remained on the U.S. state sponsor of terrorism list, along with Iran, Sudan, and Syria. The U.S. says Cuba has supported the Basque separatist group ETA and the Colombian revolutionary group, the FARC. Cuba says it shouldn't be on the list to begin with and must come off as part of restoring full diplomatic ties with the United States. But the chief Cuban negotiator called it a priority, not a prerequisite.
So you can reestablish relations and then go on to the next step of opening embassies. So what we are saying, yes, it's not a precondition, it's not a condition, but what we say is that an important, very important issue for Cuba.
Members of Congress who would have to sign off on such a step are lining up to oppose it. Democratic Senator Robert Menendez sent letters this week to the FBI and the U.S. Secretary of State, saying Cuba has a long history of, quote, providing sanctuary to terrorists and harboring U.S. fugitives. And Republican Congresswoman Ileana Ros-Lehtinen said Thursday, quote, let me be clear, Cuba poses a clear and present danger to the United States. Cuba's presence on the terror list has made it difficult to restore its banking services to its interest section in Washington after M&T Bank cut service about a year ago. Financial experts say it's unlikely any new bank will take on Cuban business in the United States until it comes off that list. The chief U.S. negotiator sought to clarify the U.S. role on both issues Friday.
We are working very quickly and very assiduously on the review of the issue of state sponsor of terrorism, not that we've prejudged the outcome of that review. So I want to be clear about that. And on the second issue on banking, let me just say that I do hope she took away from that assurances that we are working to try and resolve that issue as we have been for over a year.
And Assistant U.S. Secretary of State Roberta Jacobson, who you just heard from there, says there will be a series of meetings in both capitals next month on everything from human trafficking to marine protection to civil aviation. Both sides, by the way, have also agreed to hold formal talks on human rights, and they'll be working next month to set an agenda. But as far as a future summit, Mike, of the type we saw Friday, it's really unclear whether that will take place again.
Let's talk about the future in a sense. What about travelers in Cuba and the U.S.? Will they see any immediate changes at interest sections?
That really is the goal here, Mike, as we said, but smoother visa and consular services as well as easier travel for diplomats in both countries, not yet able to take place yet. No tangible changes are expected for travelers at this point.
All right, Jessica Stone reporting live from our D.C. newsroom. Thank you.